Hi, Bro Workman here. It's Big V, and we are talking teams. In this series, we've been talking about Og Mandino's the greatest salesman in the world. Today, I'm going to talk about scroll number 5. Now, if you refer back to the other videos, you can hear me talk about how we came to become friends with the Og Mandino Corporation and the unbelievable impact they've had on the lives of not only me personally and my family members, but the lives of our coaches and clients as well. In scroll number 5, the scroll is called, I will live this day as if it is my last. And I want you to think about this concept. I will live this day as if it is my last. And I can't quote to you every word, but I'll do my best to share with you in Og Mandino's words. He says, I will live this day as if it is my last. And what shall I do with this last day, this precious day which remains in my keeping? First, I'll seal up its container of life so that not one drop spills upon its sand. I will waste not a moment mourning yesterday's misfortunes, yesterday's defeats, yesterday's aches of heart. For why should I throw good after bad? And I want you to just listen to the very last 2 paragraphs of this chapter. And then I'm going to talk about the impact they had on my life and give you an opportunity to have the same impact. He says, I will live this day as if it is my last. And what shall I do with this greatest monument? I'll live this day as if it is my last. It will be my greatest monument. This day will make the best day of my life. This day I will drink every minute till it's full. I will savor its taste and give thanks. I will make every hour count, and each minute will I trade only for something of value. I will work harder than ever before. I will push my muscles until they cry for relief, and then I will continue. I'll make more calls than ever before. I will sell more goods than ever before. I'll earn more gold than ever before. Each minute of today must be better and more fruitful than the hours of yesterday. My last must be my best. Now I want you to think about this for a second. Okay, so if today's your last day, how many of you are thinking what I was thinking? So I'm probably not working. So the whole concept of I'm gonna sell more goods, or I'm gonna earn more gold, or I'm gonna work harder than ever before, to me doesn't make any sense. Matter of fact, if it was my last day, I'm probably not gonna work at all. I'm gonna spend the time with the people that I love. I remember my father-in-law who went through this horrible time at 65. He went to his last conference after retiring, and he got home and he started getting sick. He started to turn yellow, and it turned out that it wasn't hepatitis, it was pancreatic cancer. And for those of you who know people that have suffered with any type of cancer, it's just heartbreaking to watch somebody go through it. And pancreatic cancer is one of the worst. We watched him go from diagnosis to his funeral in just 9 short months. And I loved my father-in-law. As I watched him go through clinical trials, as he got closer and closer to realizing that they weren't gonna work, that the cancer had gotten out and it had gone to his body and it lit up on his PET scan. I remember watching Carl as he brought his family around, as he became weaker and weaker, and we would go see him. He stopped wanting to see people from work. He didn't want to see people from the neighborhood. He no longer wanted people to just pop by. He only wanted to see his children and his grandchildren. And I watched every day as we would go and visit with Carl, and we would leave with their kids, and he would pause. He would say, Jake, Anna, Carly, I love you. And they would go to grandpa and they would give him a hug. He wanted to make sure that everybody in his life knew that he loved them, because during his lifetime, he wasn't a man of many words. He loved his family and he showed it by his actions, but he wanted to make sure his words were more impactful than his actions, because he couldn't do the things that he loved to do. And I remember reading the scroll of I'll live this day as if it's my last. And I remember thinking about my interactions with Carl. I remember kneeling by the side of his bed and having him whisper in my ear, Verl, make sure Pat doesn't sell my tools and make sure she doesn't spend all the money. Those are his 2 big important wishes. He still has a beautiful workshop with all of his tools there, and his wife, his widow, has continued to be successful financially and be well taken care of because he did the right things in life. I remember each moment of his last moments, and none of them were about how do I make more money or how do I sell more gold. And this bothered me. I actually would think about it at night. I'd wake up in the morning and I'd be thinking about this scroll, and I really struggled with it until finally I just called Dave Blanchard, the CEO of Og Mandino Corporation. I said, Dave, this is Verl. I'm struggling. He says, well, Verl, welcome to the club, because we all struggle. He says, what are you struggling with and how can I help? And I said, I'm going through this scroll number 5 and I'm trying to figure out how I can live this day as if it's my last and apply it to business, because my heart's not there. If it was my last day, I wouldn't work. He goes, you don't get it. I'm like, well, that's why I'm calling you. Help me get it. He says, it's not that these are your last days. He said, it's that the moments and hours of today, once they're gone, you can never get them back. And so how you look at every moment, every hour, every minute of today matters, because once they're gone, it's like your inventory. You can never get it back. So go back and read the scroll again, realizing that it's the last time you'll ever have these moments of today. It's not your last day. And I'm like, oh, I get it. So now let me go back and read this to you again and see if it means something different to you. He says, I will live this day as if it's my last. And if it's my last, it will be my greatest monument. This day I will make the best day of my life. This day I will drink every minute till it's full. I will savor its taste and give thanks. I will make every hour count, and I will only trade each minute for something of value. I'll labor harder than ever before. I'll push my muscles until they cry for relief, and then I will continue. It sounds like my personal trainer. He says, I will make more calls than ever before. I'll earn more gold than ever before. And now I got it. He says, each minute of today will be more fruitful than the hours of yesterday. My last will be my best. And then he finishes the scroll with, I will live this day as if it is my last. And if it's not, I will fall to my knees and give thanks and be grateful that I have another day. You see, when I reread that after Dave actually helped me understand that it's not about my last day, it's about the last moments of today. I look at every day differently. I wake up every morning grateful that I have another day. And I ask myself, what can I do to make sure that today is a productive and a fruitful and a meaningful day? Who are the people whose lives I need to touch during today, and how can I make a difference in my communication with them? Can I ask you all to re-examine the time you spend away from family and friends and make sure that it's productive? Can I ask you to make sure that every day is a productive day? Because once today is gone, you can't go back and get it back. That inventory is now sold. So make every day a productive day and a great day. Here's what I'd like to give you as a result for being on this video today. First of all, I want to link you to the scroll that I taught, or the video where we talked about the 12 critical steps to time and life mastery. And then I'm going to ask you to download the My Perfect Week scheduler that's right here at the bottom. I'm going to give that to you as my gift. And that whole concept is designed to help you figure out what it is you need to do to make sure today is your perfect day.